Sprinkle some of that sage salt on your weekend breakfast and call it Mzansi Insider. Feesmas 4 leader Bonginkosi is still in jail. Why? We go behind the story. It's language wars. Which language trumps the other in hot off social media? Careful what you tweet. Celebrities clap back. And Shimza and Busi show Mzansi Insider love. We're live and it all starts now.
Homie, don't worry, hold up. No gossy goes up in our skin. Dishing out the truth, so start tuning in. Can't legally. Come, social issues, this so easily. Giving you the latest news so instantly. Gender we tighter, keep the channel locked on Mzansi Insider.
I'm a shimmy. Hey. Welcome to it. Starting it nice and easy. Beautiful jam.
That is mine. Love it.
Welcome to it. Just in case you're confused, welcome to it, Mzansi Insider. And on this day, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump, Presidente of America, it's official. He has been inaugurated.
Guys, things are happening. Justin Bieber asked for Wolola from Babe Sotumo
What
to
are we doing
remix
with our lives?
True or False.
What are we doing with our lives?
Anyway, coming
You're
up,
doing with your life.
coming up on today's show, we do speak language wars. It happened on Twitter. It trended. We're going to talk about it in hot off social media.
This one has been trending pretty much from last year right into 2017. Bonginkosi Kanyile still on trial, still in prison, and obviously a lot of people having different emotions about that. But today we go behind the story.
Absolutely. And be careful what you tweet because Summer Flames, Baba, we speak about the biggest clapbacks on social media from celebrities.
Yes, my name is Rory. This one is Kat. Together, we are.
I am the entertainment blesser. Katleho Mtunzi Sinovasan, the shade giver.
Oh, we're not here for him. It's time for us to check out on the headlines.
2017 starts on a sad note with the passing of legendary jazz giant Tandi Dlamini. The legend passed this week after a long battle with cancer. Her contribution to the music industry and her works will always be honored. Lala ngoxolo Tandi Dlamini.
I'm so grateful that I got to see her perform late last year. It was Divas of Kofifi, a beautiful show, brilliant performance. Dorothy Msuka, really, and we bring our thoughts and our prayers are with the family in this time.
Absolutely.
What
Next
a legend.
story. Yeah, what a legend.
Social media went wild this week when an image of a woman in a cage at the back of a bakkie went viral. After it trended, insiders were calling for an investigation. It's alleged that 27-year-old 4-month pregnant Linda Senegal asked 41-year-old Johannes Erasmus for a lift to a nearby clinic. In a leading interview video released on Facebook, Senegal says that she requested to sit in the cage. I don't know, still looks kind of cagey to me.
Vertel die storie dat jy gevra het vir 'n geleentheid dorp toe. Gaan aan met jou eie storie.
Ek het hom hy gevra by pas. Hy pas met die hy. Toe tot in die dorp, en wat ons in die dorp kom, toe lei my af by die garage.
Is dit so ver soos wat jy wou kom?
Ja.
So meneer het vir jou die geleentheid gegee. Jy wou nie voor inklim nie, want jy is gewoond agterop ry, julle like mos die wind en goeie. So sê net die regte storie daar.
Ek was die meneer het my gevra, gaat ek moet voorsit, toe sê ek nee, as ware meneer gaat agtersit, want ons is gewoon agterklim.
En toe het julle daarom veilig gekom tot in die dorp, maar hoekom het jy toe agter in die hok geklim in steede om voor in die voertuig te klim?
Ek was zelf omdat het warm is, dus ik was zelf voor mij afklim. Ik ga zelf aan die hokken zitten.
En die meneer het altyd mense wat geleenthede moes gelê daar vanaf dorp toe, so ons dink ons doen 'n goeie werkie. Nou sien ons dis verkeerd, ander mense vryf die hele storie verkeerd om op. So ja, dit nou nie 'n te lang storie wees nie, so sê net Jy waardeer dit elke keer as iemand jou help, want jy is baie ver uit die dorp uit. Dis nie maklik om 'n geleentheid te kry tot in die dorp nie.
Ja.
Ja.
Julle like die wind.
Yeah, not yay.
Julle.
Julle.
Die mense.
Here's my thing, né?
Wat se mense?
Baby girl is a bully because say something about me with my hand on your shoulder. Say it. Say my suit is not slay.
Your suit
You-
is slaying!
You know what I'm saying? It's impossible.
Yeah, and she spoke half the time, like telling her what to say. Look, man, everybody can have their opinions on this one. I'm just saying nobody in their right mind is going to choose. And if it really was that hot, you can open the window and not burn from the sun.
And you can also not sit in the cage.
Because
as
you
a
know,
human.
Bucky's have that little part where the wheel is where you can sit and hold on to the cage.
that's a straight
Anyway,
lie.
we're too emotional with this one. Next one.
The Department of Education and the Road Traffic Infringement Agency have announced a partnership to introduce extended driving lessons into high schools. The Transport Minister Dipuo Peters made an announcement at the Soshanguve East Secondary School. The minister announced that there would be a provision of driving simulators during the 2017-2018 financial year. The partnership aims to groom future drivers on road safety and reduce future road accidents and fatalities.
SA doing big things.
Yes. I mean, overseas, the legal driving age is 16.
Yeah.
So if we can actually up the ante, I guess our roads could be a safer place.
Up the ante.
Look, heart of social media.
Schoor.
Now, we see it all the time on social media, mostly with celebrities. They tweet something and everybody feels like they're entitled to their own opinion about their tweets. So if you tweet something in your own language, people go as far as saying, tweet it in a language that we understand. And I'm just like, ouch here, what?
The audacity is really, really high. And Ihlile, that's definitely what's happening. And this brings us to the big story of Ruankai Nakajeno. Is there a language war in South Africa? Ever English is our primary language? And are the stereotypes of Ruankai different ethnic groups? So ever get it na? We talk about this, about the language wars. All this happening on Hot of Social Media.
It was a beautiful summer's evening. The summer breeze was blowing and the ice-cold drinks were cooling our bodies. Until Bonang Mateba uploaded a tweet to her nemesis in Setswana. At first, tweets were concerned about who Queen Bee was snubbing. From 0 to 100, no one saw the tribal language war coming. Xhosas and Zulus requested translations. The Sotos offered to sell translation tweets. And then the tour became about which ethnic group was more superior. The Xhosas, the Zulus, Sotos, and Tswanas. But the Vendas and Tsongas were almost forgotten.
We're getting straight into it. Joining us, our language-conscious guest.
Yes.
We have Noxie.
We have Stan
We have Soshani.
and Chantel. Did I say that right? Yeah. Is
I
that
know
everybody?
how do I say the Soshani?
Shonisani.
Shonisani.
Yeah, okay,
There you
language
go.
wars already
They have
begin.
begun.
Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you very much.
Now, first things first, let's speak about social media. How much of a hand do we have in what other people tweet? First things first.
A huge
How much
hand,
of
eh?
A huge
your
hand.
business is it?
No, it's none of our business.
Is it?
What other people tweet on their accounts?
Yes.
No.
I feel like there's two
Yeah.
opinions. What's your opinion?
She's just like, nah.
Yeah, I feel like we have a huge hand somehow.
Why?
How?
Social media is just so big, and whatever people put out there, people are just tempted to just tweet and comment and just say something.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it may not even relate to you, it may relate to somebody else, but you just feel that you have to have a hand in just saying something.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, I personally think as soon as you put something out there for the whole world, you allow
Yeah.
everyone to be part of it. So yeah, it's pretty much that.
Cool, guys. So, we're talking about language wars. How did language wars it?
Stan.
Yeah.
Well, actually, there are
Okay.
language wars. Well, because I, for example, now I'm from a township that actually caused the war based on languages,
Okay.
you know, while the Zulu hostel dwellers were against the township Xhosa people, which is just part of the Thokoza
okay.
history. Thokoza, it's in the
Thokoza,
East Rand.
okay.
Yes. So that's when it all happened,
Yeah.
you know. And then now, the war actually right now, it's still, in fact, the tension is still there, you know, while if there's a group of Xhosa people and me as a Sotho guy, you know, the humblest one, I still feel, you know, intimidated, you know, I cannot just bow with them or just do whatever I want to do while they're still there, because they also have this Sotho boy. What does he think he's doing? Think he's clever or something, you
I
know?
see you.
So it gets also physical besides just treat wars.
Let's speak about where it starts in our daily interaction. I think, Shonisani, what language do you speak?
Chivenda.
Chivenda. Wamba Chivenda.
Chivenda.
When somebody greets you, let's say, for instance, Ngesizulu, do you reply, Gachivenda?
No, I honestly don't. And this happens to me in Joburg a lot because I'm from Cape Town. So as soon as someone says Unjani, I automatically say Ndiphelele Nkosi Unjani wena.
Why?
I think it's a Cape Town thing because I've always been the minority in Cape Town because everyone's closer. So I think I'm going to start doing that now.
So when someone says Unjani Uti Nda?
No, for a female, Nda for a male. But I just reply in closer actually. It's weird.
I'm going to throw in something here. And I mean, you guys are at home free to agree or disagree with me. But I've come across a lot of Venda speaking people and Shangaan speaking people who will know everyone else's language. And no one in the least bit is interested in learning a little bit of Venda or a little bit of Shangaan. Is this the case? You guys see this happening?
I've noticed. I mean, especially just in general in high schools, you either choose between isiZulu or Afrikaans. And I noticed in my high school, majority of the learners went for isiZulu. And I often laughed at the learners who took Afrikaans because they're like, guys, take Zulu. It's a mother tongue language. Why on earth are you going for Afrikaans? So,
Siswa, ngiyazi ukuthi umZulu. All right? And let's be quite honest. Okay, I'm going to rephrase that. It was already happening in my head. I'm going to say Zulus are a pretty dominant nation. Generally, umuntu omZulu uzokubulisa ngesizulu. For instance, eTexini baba uthini? Awufika eTexini uthi dimela ngibona tatele right taxi No. Sithi sanibona immediately, right? Why do you think Zulus are so dominant?
Honestly, I think, you know, firstly, we've been so exposed to our own language. Because when I grew up from KZN and I spoke isiZulu. And when I came to Joburg, instead of having to adjust, I made people who were adjusting to me. So it happens that we get so content with speaking our own language that we do not try to learn other people's language. I go to Stone. It's just because it's so accessible that it's just...
It's just like, jump on the wagon.
Exactly.
Or stay at home.
So
First of all, Khanyani is not even Sesotho. Do you guys feel these are justified? Do you feel that we do have ethnic groups and they bring? Because I can, you know, you mentioned something that happened in Thokoza a while back ago. But I mean, we are growing in a different generation, in a different mindset. Why is this still here? Why are we still, you know, choosing other groups to be the minority or choosing isiZulu because everybody in KZN speaks Zulu, so Joburg, we must just adjust. Why is this still here in our generation?
I think it sources from like a sense of pride. I think that we want to hold on to something that makes us uniquely us. And also, you know, when you're a loner or if you're in a friendship group, it's the shared camaraderie. So I feel like that's why everyone's holding on to their tribe so much. So it's a sense of belonging and pride.
But can we have a sense of belonging without making other people feel like they don't belong? Because it's got to be a fine balance that, okay, cool, we need that as human beings, but you know, as a vendor girl, you're forced to speak isiXhosa and no one is interested in learning, you know what I mean? All we know is and that's because we watch Mubango. Without it, we don't pretty much have to interact with it. You know? Should we have a balance, Dan?
Well, I think it also just, it's based on where we actually come from. You know, we still pride ourselves on exactly like, I am Zulu and these are the tradition. He goes to a mountain, I don't go to a mountain, but our definition of being a man, it's still probably different, but we still want to be man, you see. So we're still pushing that because we were raised and we're from that era of so for it to change right now, it's actually going to be us on our mindset. When you say that I'm going to read a McDonald's menu in Chivenda and that's how you're going to find it, if you can't read it, then sorry, you know. And then if that's going to be the case, then it's still going to separate us even more. Because now I'm not going to go to that
Absolutely.
because
so
of
ultimately, what we're saying in essence is that we won't find a common ground.
It's gonna be tough.
Because then we need like 50 menus in Chivenda Sizulu, the whole entire thing.
And I think I want to say is that, you know what, I feel like even when you watch TV, a lot of like African content is in isiZulu. So I think if we also find a common ground without entertainment, it might make a huge
I'm so grateful you said that. Me and Kat had an argument about this. Guys, thank you so much for talking to us. I think that the other question we should ask is, do we even know how to read and write in our languages?
Lesedi, no!
Why Bonginkosi Kanyile is still in jail, and later Shimza and Busiswa. All this and more when we come back.
Keep the channel locked on Mzansi Insider. You know what it is, Mzansi Insider.
For months now, the Fees Must Fall movement has been marked by ongoing court battles on the prosecution of Bonginkosi Kanyile.
This has gone viral, but nonetheless, are you part of the movement? And have you been following the story? If is he still on trial? And what actually the situation is with him right now?
Fees Must Fall leader Bonginkosi Kanyile spent his birthday, New Year's Eve and Christmas Day in jail after being denied bail. He's yet to spend another month in jail after court was postponed on Thursday. Kanyile was arrested last September on the 27th during the Fees Must Fall protest in KZN. He's been charged with public violence, trespassing, possession of a dangerous weapon and inciting violence.
We're going behind the story on Mzansi Insider today. Bonginkosi Kanyile's case is exactly what we're talking about. Joining us is Fees Must Fall leader Tandi Dlamini.
Yes,
how are you?
I'm good. How are
good
you?
to see you.
Welcome.
Happy 2017.
Thank you very much.
All right, I want to get straight into it because I think a lot of people at home, but you obviously went to prison.
Yes.
How long were you there for?
37 days.
37 days?
Yeah.
How was that?
Well, it's quite an experience.
Yeah.
Jail is nobody's home.
Yeah.
It's not a place that one can pride himself and say, no, I've been to jail and what have you.
Yeah.
It's a terrible place. And mostly that we were not just taken to jail, but to the maximum prison, the most notorious ones. I mean, that's the sad part.
I mean, if I'm not mistaken, Bonginkosi has been in prison for over 120 days.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, look, we can't lie and try to, you know, massage issues here. There's too much political influence on the charges themselves and what is happening on the universities. There is that they are trying to clamp down and try to silence students. And the sad part is that when you look at the issue of Kanyile, if you look at DUT as an institution, it never banned. There was never any property destruction at DUT. Then you ask yourself, because UKZN is the most